Hi friends, welcome to the channel Learning R is Fun. In the last set of videos we have seen base R. In this set we will be seeing more and more practical aspects and certain important packages. Thereby our skill in R will improve. Today we will deal with the tidyverse set of packages. The concept of tidy data was introduced by Hadley Wickham. He is a chief scientist in RStudio. He has pioneered this set of packages. He has brought in the concept of tidy data sets. He compared the Leo Tolstoy quotation, "Happy families are alike, every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way." In the same way, he stated that tidy data has got certain principles and messy data has got their own complications. In tidy data, he has introduced certain structure, and that structure will conform to these rules. Each variable forms a column, each observation forms a row, and each observational unit should be in its own table. And there is one thing which I have not mentioned here is value should be in its own cell. So all these concepts will be clear when you do some examples. In messy data we have various complications, and as we go along we can see and understand them. There is a form of data which is generally known and widely used by us, and that is wide form format. That is what you see on the screen. For every person we have registered age, date of birth, gender, height and weight. And for another person we give in another row. So columns mention the variables and rows mention the observations of that particular person. Now but this is not a tidy data, because observation of age and observation of date of birth, these are in separate, should be in separate rows, but they are in the same row. So if you look at the long form of the data, they are all in their own rows. This becomes a little bit unwieldy for humans to understand, but for computers it becomes easier. That is what Hadley Wickham has explained, and these packages work on this form of data. And to convert this from wide to long format, we can use functions, melt and cast in base R, and then gather and spread later. But pivot longer and pivot wider is the latest in the tidyr package. And data manipulation is also required to be done, like selection of columns, selection of rows, basically known as filter, and sorting them according to a particular criteria, transforming, that is from wide to long and vice versa, and then aggregation, which is based on certain criteria, grouping certain data and then working upon it for finding some averages, etc. All these things are accomplished using dplyr package. We have other packages in the tidyverse set of packages: ggplot2 for visualization, readr for data import, per for function programming, tibble, which is our next video, which is a better type of data frame, string R for handling strings, and forcats for handling factors. And there are a lot of other packages which, like libridate for date and times, HMS for times and all. So all these packages do not load on their own, we have to load them. Certain packages, like when we load tidyverse, certain packages get loaded and others we have to specifically load. With this in background, let's go to RStudio. So we have launched the RStudio. I have got the script ready for today's session. There is a command browse URL, and we can give the URL within parentheses, within quotes. Then we can go to that site from R. So I have launched that browse URL. So browser will open up and these packages will be shown. Basically tidyverse.r packages, these are being shown here. Here we can have links to individual packages wherein we can go and learn more. and some of the packages are straightaway loaded and others are not loaded that way. That is what mentioned here. For data wrangling, lubricate, HMS, blob, etc. is there. Similarly, for importing, there is set of packages. All these things have to be loaded separately. We'll go back to RStudio. Now, while loading tidyverse, library tidyverse, we are getting this kind of warnings and conflicts which are there. Like for example, filter function is there in stats package, that is in base R, and the same filter function is coming up in dplyr also. So there will be conflict and this will be superseding. Similarly, other information is coming up here. Generally, one need not worry about them. And straight away, we will ask R, what is this tidyverse package? Question mark. If tidyverse is loaded, then there will be an answer for that, which is coming up here. Tidyverse, easily install and load the tidyverse. Basically, tidyverse package is a set of packages that work in harmony because they share common data representations and API design. Basically, this package is designed to make it easy to install and load multiple tidyverse packages in a single step. Okay. Having understood this, we will see what is tidyverse underscore conflicts. So it basically brings out conflicts, if any, with the base R. And then we can also see tidyverse update. By this, we come to know which packages of tidyverse have been updated, which are yet to be updated. So let's look at this. Following packages are out of date, like broom, dplyr, httr, pillar. All these are tidyverse packages, and these packages have to be updated. What we are having in our machine is 0.5.6 and it has to be updated to 0.7.0. That is what it gives. So in order to do that, what he says is start a clean R session, then run this. So do that, then all this will get updated. Okay, now we'll go back to our source, that is our editor. Now we'll look at this command, tidyverse underscore packages include self is true, because tidyverse itself is a package. So what are the other packages in the tidyverse universe? That is what we are asking. So now we are seeing the whole list, 25, 26, 27 packages. In that tidyverse is also there. So that's why self is. So now we'll look at important tool. When lot of packages are being handled, we need more than library function. So to manage the various packages loading and looking at the individual packages and what are the functions in each package, etc., we require a tool and a package management tool, we can say, and such a tool is available through Pacman. So we have to install packages Pacman. So let me install that also. It is already installed in my machine, but anyway, let me run that command. So it says we want to restart R prior to install it. I'll say no. So this downloading and installation of Pacman is in progress. Now that package management tool is there, there are certain functions defined here. So we'll use some of these functions to get familiar with this. P-base basically tells you, P underscore base tells you what packages are already loaded with the base R. Could not function. So we have not loaded the Pacman in library. So we have to use that. So library Pacman. So now we'll use the same command. So datasets, utils, graphical devices, graphics, stats, methods and base. We have seen that S4 functionality is gained by methods package, which is by default loaded into our memory. In the last video of the previous series, we have seen that. Now all these are automatically loaded in the base R. That is what we get to know by using P underscore base function. P underscore load, then we say a specific package, say datasets, and then pacman, and then like tidyverse. So when we say this, all these three individual packages will be loaded. Instead of using library and then load them, we can do that. We already loaded that. In any case, let's do this using pload. So p underscore load, all these three packages have now been loaded. We can ask p loaded, which are the packages that have been loaded. So it is telling us pacman, tidyr, tibble, tidyverse, forcats, string r, all these packages have been loaded. Now there is a pacman function known as p underscore functions, and we can, within quotes, we can give magritar. Magritar is the tidyverse package which introduced the pipe symbol and other symbols, and it has also got some useful functions. So we can see about 35 functions are there in magritar. That is functions in magritar. We are seeing different symbols here, we will get to know them, and other than that, this many functions are there. We know these operators are also functions, but they are given in the short form here. We look at source again. We can ask information about a particular package. Let me ask about the lubricate package. pinfo lubricate. So here we see information. This is the lubricate package, and it is meant for which purpose? To deal with the dates a little easier, and it has given list of who is maintaining and to whom you have to write if there is a serious issue, etc. So this is information about this package. So pacman helps us in all these regards. So we have seen pinfo also. Now we can use p underscore data sets. Here basically we are finding out what data is available in data sets. In base R we use simply data, here we are using p underscore data. So about 104 data sets are available in the base R. One such data set is trees, we have seen that, black cherry trees. So other data sets are all listed here. And like that, in the packages introduced by tidyverse, we can ask what are the various data sets. Pdata, tidyverse, when we say, we are not giving one particular package, we are giving a lot of packages, that's why it says no data sets found. But we can give one particular individual package like ggplot2, then it is telling this many data sets are available. For ggplot2 package, where a lot of chart manipulations and functions are given, to experiment them, they have given a set of data. So using this data, which are mentioned here, like diamonds, economics, faithful D, and then Midwest, etc., one can experiment the work in ggplot2. So examples given in the ggplot2 package will make use of these data sets and demonstrate the various features. So every package comes along with it its own set of data, and that we can see from this. Like ggplot2 we have seen, we can see for dplyr, we can see for tidyr, etc. using p underscore data. I am not going to work all of them, but I will just give you one demonstration here. Forcats is a package for factors, so we will ask p data forcats. So this is the package p forcats, and this is the data set available. The sample categorical variables for the general social survey GSS cat. So we will ask what is GSS cat. So we will be getting the data here basically. Marital, age, race, or income, party ID, etc. You can ask a specific column by using dollar command, a dollar operator, GSS underscore cat dollar marital. The whole information is given in the form of table, but this is not a data frame, it's a tibble. So what is a tibble? We will see in next video. Particular column only we have asked. and that column the details have come here 997, 98, 19,000. Reached get option basically omitted 20,000 entries. So some 1000 entries only it has shown. So GSS underscore cat dollar marital. So we can get a particular column data like this. Now we will look at long and wide data. So for this purpose we will use data empty cars. Okay. So we will say data empty cars. In the environment we can see empty cars, there is a promise now. So if you click here, then it promise becomes active. So empty car data set is available. So look at the data set here, MPG, cylinder, displacement, horsepower, etc. is given. These are basically the columns, and values for 34 cars are available here, 32 cars. Now in this the row names are available. These row names let us take into the data set. So what we'll do, row names, row dot names empty cars will give you these details, Mazda RX4, Mazda RX4 wagon. So all these details, this detail will take them into car names. A new name will create into the empty cars and add these details there. So now empty cars will be having the 12 variables. Previously it was having 11 variables, now it's having 12 variables. If you want, you can have a look at it. Empty cars. It starts with the same MPG, cylinder, etc. Row names are retained, but the new column has come here in which the same row names have come inside. Why we have done, we will see it in a short while. Now this wide format, we will change it to long format, for which what we will do, we will use a function called pivot longer, and then we will supply the empty cars data, and then we will say other than car names, take the remaining column names and store them to car aspect, and then take the values there and store them to car spec. So we want a key is car aspect, value is car spec. So all the values should be transformed like this and name should be retained. This is what we are saying. Let's see how this, and then put them back into the empty cars long. So empty cars long has been created. Now 32 observations have become 352 observations with the 3 variables. Let us look at this. Here car names, we got a column, and car aspect, here we got the variables now, MPG, cylinder, displacement, etc. So if you just scroll them, for the initial Mazda RX4, we are getting all these aspects, and then for next car again we start from MPG, cylinder, displacement, etc. And the actual values are stored in the car spec now. So that is how the data has been transferred. Now if we want to convert them back, again we will say empty cars wide, for which pivot wider function we will use. So this data set empty cars long will use here within the bracket, and then names from the car aspects. We have seen the car aspects contains the variable names now. You can see that again once again. Car aspects contains the variable names. So that's what we are now saying. Takes the names from car aspect and values from car spec. So the very intuitive command. Now we'll enter. We have got empty cars wide. Now this is 32 observation, 12 variables, 32 observations, 12 variables, like in the initial set we have received this. So we have got the same data like before. So you can see here. So we have come to the end of the session. In this session we have seen important aspects of Pacman package, then how to explore tidyverse set of packages, and then how to convert wide form to long form of data. In the next video we will see tables. Thanks for watching. Bye from me.